Hello everyone, this is Zooc, and today I'm bringing you a little bit more of my paid work, my little side projects that I have reserved for the weekend. This is going to be one of 5 illustrations that I'm doing for this guy. Hired me to do 5 drawings based off of his own sketches. They're supposed to be sort of like gaming avatars or whatever. Really, I didn't quite understand what they were, but they're supposed to be used as avatars. So they're supposed to not be super detailed, but they're supposed to be detailed enough to be unique and custom and look, sharp-ish. So this is the 4th one that I'm doing. I think this is actually no, I'm pretty certain this is the Mass Effect one. I think it's Shepard. I'm not sure. I haven't actually played Mass Effect. I've just sort of heard of it. Yeah, I know that's weird. I haven't played that, but whatever. So it's him in 5 different stances. Like in one of them, he's the scout from Team Fortress 2. In this one, he's something else. And I think there's some planet side one left. And that's about it, which should be just as difficult as this one. Now, this is going to be like a 5-minute video, but this project took pretty much 5 hours actually. 1 hour for the sketch and 4 hours for the drawing in Illustrator. He gave me his own drawings, which are actually pretty decent. I mean, I've seen much worse than that. So I had a pretty good starting point regarding what I should do. But, my job was to touch them up and just improve them and color them and shade them. In this video, I'm not going to show shading, but I am going to color this one. The shading I'm going to do in Photoshop at the end after all of them are done. That's the plan of action, because I don't want to get caught up in too many details. I just want to do the same kind of work until I'm done. So I'm just creating these first 5 illustrations in Illustrator and then moving on to the shading and finalizing and getting the rest of my money, which will indeed come in handy. So again, I don't know how many of you have seen my previous Illustrator work. I do all of these ones by hand, like tracing each individual line, because I just have more control like that, and I know it's much, much slower than if I was using a tablet. But right now, I've tried everything I knew. I've tried all the drivers for my Wacom or Wacom, and it just doesn't want to work properly. Like, the pen is really, really weird. So I think the pen might be broken. I'm just going to have to get a new one whenever. I know I've said this before, but it's pretty expensive. From what I've heard, a pen is actually like 70 or 80 bucks, which is quite ridiculous considering those things break all the freaking time. Like, you drop that a few times and it's done. What it does basically is it doesn't have, like, when you lift a pen off the tablet, it doesn't finish in a sharp line. It finishes in like a sort of a thinner version of the main line, and it looks like a penis coming out of my fucking lines everywhere, and it's just really annoying and retarded. So I can't use my tablet. Plus, with the tablet, I'm just not skilled enough with it to get these smooth curves. Like, I see people drawing with it, and it's like super sick, but I'm not at the level yet, just because I've successfully avoided working with a tablet for so long that I'm sort of scared of reapproaching it now. But I did pay like a fucking $1,000 for it when I bought it, so I should probably use it at some point. I'm just like dodging, procrastinating, and being a scared little shit. So I basically worked on this one non-stop for like 4 hours. So by the end, I was kind of dazed and confused. The perspective is a bit wrong on this one. I'm playing with the perspective grid there, which it's actually the first time I've used the perspective grid in Illustrator, which is crazy. It's like insanely useful, I've discovered. It's just whenever I clicked on that button, I always clicked on it by mistake, so I always closed it instinctively. It's like, fuck this, I don't want this now, It's like, no, it's actually really useful, and I should be using it for all of these things that I'm doing. So it was a good opportunity to get more accustomed with how the perspective grid works in Illustrator. And I'm using I actually have CS6 installed, but I'm using CS5 because there's this plugin that I've had for a very long time, which is probably the best plugin I've ever seen for Illustrator. Probably the only one I'll ever have, really. It's called Sea Valley Extreme Path, and you can see the 2 bars there, the 2 toolbars on the screen at the top. Those belong to that, and it basically gives you some tools that allow you to create some really interesting effects on your curves that otherwise Illustrator would take like 5 years to work around that. So those tools are like super useful for creating like rounded edges and straightening out curves and straightening out lines, and for degree work, for like turning everything. It's really good. Obviously it costs money. I think it's like $100, but it's the internet. Nobody pays for shit here, so I'm just saying there are options. So I'm just sampling colors from the main image. And this isn't like the final version of it. I mean, I'll have to shade it and just doing a final few touch-ups. But this is basically like the base version of it. So the guy's happy with it. I just showed it to him. I literally stopped working or finished working on this like right now. So I'm losing my shit. I need to play something and relax. I haven't had an actual weekend in weeks now. Every time there's a weekend, I actually have to work on all my side projects, and I haven't really had one day where I didn't have something to do or work to do. So it's kind of a pain in the ass. So I'm looking forward to finishing these commissions, and there's still like 3 or 4 left, and having actual weekends for myself to relax and play a few games or something. So anyway, thanks for watching. This video is going to come out rather late. It's like 3 a.m. now, but I've been doing this shit most of the day and other types of work, so can't really help it. But enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'm gonna go sleep or shoot myself or something now. So see you later. Bye bye.